The latest Resident Evil Requiem news fundamentally changes everything we thought we knew about the game. New leaks have all but confirmed Leon Kennedy is the second main protagonist, and you'll likely spend more time playing as him than as Grace. This isn't just a rumor anymore. It's a critical piece of the puzzle that explains Capcom's entire marketing strategy, why we haven't seen any real combat, and it confirms a direct link to the franchise's past that's been hiding in plain sight this whole time. Let's get the core facts on the table immediately. First, Capcom has officially announced that pre-orders for Resident Evil Requiem go live on 10/29/2025. This is massive because it essentially locks in that February release date. Second, and more importantly, renowned leaker Dusk Golem has quadrupled down on his claims that Leon Kennedy is a main protagonist, sharing the spotlight with Grace, and that his role is far from a minor cameo. This forces us to reevaluate every trailer and every piece of information we've seen so far. So let's break down what this actually means, starting with that pre-order date. An October 29th pre-order isn't just a date on a calendar. It's a point of no return for Capcom. Once they start taking our money, the chances of a delay plummet to near zero. That February 27th release is now set in stone. But the real implication here is the box art. You can't have pre-orders without revealing the final box art, which means if there's a second protagonist featured on the cover, Capcom has to show their hand before the end of this month. This puts a ticking clock on the biggest secrets surrounding Requiem. Will they drop a bombshell trailer revealing Leon alongside the pre-order announcement? It's possible. Though their own tweet specified the accompanying video will be a franchise celebration with no new gameplay, which feels like a classic piece of misdirection. This brings us directly to the Leon situation, which is now escalated beyond simple speculation. When Dusk Golem was pressed on Twitter about his previous claims, he didn't back down. He stated, "I believe that how the game is structured, that more of the game will be played as Leon by most players from how I understand it." He went on to clarify that Grace and Leon are both main protagonists with different but connected things going on. This is the key. It suggests a dual narrative structure, and it perfectly explains the biggest criticism of the game's marketing so far: the complete absence of combat. Think about it. As Dusk Golem pointed out, we have not seen a single gun fired in gameplay. We've seen maybe 3 seconds of zombies and not one frame of gameplay within Raccoon City itself. Everything shown is from the first 2 segments of the game, which the director himself called "are all really early." What this tells me is that Capcom isn't being stingy with footage. They are deliberately hiding half of the game's core identity. Grace's gameplay, as we've seen it, represents the pure survival horror aspect, the tense exploration, the atmospheric dread. Leon, on the other hand, would almost certainly bring the refined action horror combat the series is now famous for. By holding back Leon, they're holding back the entire combat pillar of the game. It's a brilliant, if frustrating, marketing move. They are selling the horror first, and they will almost certainly unleash the action later to build a second wave of hype. Dusk Golem also claimed Leon is in the first trailer in 2 small ways that will be more obvious in hindsight. This has sent fans scrambling. One popular theory points to a shot where Grace is on the left and a man is on the ground. The framing suggests this could be from Leon's point of view. Another centers on a disputed voice line that some believe is Leon, while others claim it's Chris. Regardless of the specifics, the idea that Capcom has already teased him fits their pattern of clever misdirection perfectly. When someone asked if Capcom could just remove him from the game at this late stage, Dusk's response was blunt: "It's impossible. Millions of dollars and years of development are tied to this character. He's not just a feature, he's integral to the game's foundation." So, the final question is, when does the dam break? When will Capcom show us the other half of Resident Evil Requiem? The pre-order announcement on October 29th is a potential flashpoint, but the lack of promised gameplay makes it less likely for a full reveal. That leaves the Game Awards in December. Geoff Keighley's show is a massive stage Capcom has used before, including for the Resident Evil Village gameplay trailer in 2020. They also debuted Requiem at Summer Game Fest. A partnership is clearly in place. Revealing Leon and unleashing a comprehensive combat trailer in front of millions at the Game Awards feels like the most logical, high-impact move they have left. It allows them to dominate the holiday conversation and build unstoppable momentum leading into the February launch. If not then, we're likely looking at a dedicated showcase in January 2026, but that feels like cutting it a bit too close. The evidence strongly suggests they're holding their ace for one major event. Now that the pre-order date is officially set for this month, do you think Capcom will be forced to reveal Leon before then to align with the box art? Or will they manage to keep their biggest secret under wraps until a massive stage like the Game Awards in December 2025? Let me know how you think this reveal is going to play out in the comments. If you appreciate this kind of deep dive analysis, do me a favor and subscribe for more. Until next time.